Next one is contacts. So in SolidWorks, trying to understand what contacts mean and how they work with each other is sometimes a little bit confusing. But they define how parts in an assembly interact when they come together. So bonded parts are fixed to each other at the interface. So here we have two plates, and if these plates get deflected downward, they will stay in contact right there the whole time. So there's actually no deflection happening in these pieces right here where they're bonded. No penetration. Parts slide on top of each other, can separate, but cannot penetrate each other. So these two can slide, push on each other, but they will actually, the pink piece will not go into the green piece like they can down here, where it's completely free, no interactions between the parts. They will pass right through each other. Right? So those are the three different kinds, and we'll look at those. Actually, let's look at it real quick here. So we come in here, and we'll look under connections. Well, we actually need to do that real quick. So this is just a single part. We can't do this in an assembly. We can only do it in assembly. So let me open up an assembly. And we'll make assembly just of the twist parts. So I'll bring one in here. And then I will bring in insert component with just another twist part. And just kind of click it there. I want to get it in the right spot here. So let me mate it up here. So we'll do that surface in there. And other direction, good. And we'll do this surface and this surface. And then we'll do, oh, we still need this surface here. And this one here. There we go. So it's right in the right spot there. All right, so let's see now if we would take this into a simulation. And we're just going to do a static simulation. So here's our contacts. So there's our parts, our two twists, and then we have component contacts. So this one, see, global contact is bonded. So let's edit definition and see what options we got. No penetration, bonded, and allow penetration. That's that free option. All right. So that's the kind of the three options that you would see. All right. So contact hierarchy. So how do these contacts apply to each other? Well, first of all, there's a global contact to any surfaces that are touching. So that's the one, if I go back here, that's the one that we already had here. So it's global contact identified as global. Anything that's touching is bonded. It doesn't matter if I declared it or not. If it's touching, it's bonded. So that's why when I get this, I can check or uncheck here. So the whole assembly, any place in the assembly is going to be bonded as it's selected here right now. The next one, or the one that would override the global contact, would be anytime someone declares a component contact on surfaces that are touching. So component contact is what this one's actually under. It's under a component contact, but it's also considered global. So we can get that through here. A component contact, I just right-click on connections. Component contact set is what we're talking about next. All right, so overrides the global contact to parts with component contact on surfaces that are touching. SolidWorks overrides 1 and 2, so if it's a global contact or if it's a component contact, it will override it with any individually defined contact sets between specific faces. So contact sets are between this face and this face. Very, very specific call out for contact requirements. And so a little bit more information with that would be individual contact sets, probably should be R here, are the only way to apply contact to surfaces that are not touching. So usually we're doing contact declarations when things are actually touching each other. If they're not touching each other, contact sets is the only way that we can apply that contact restriction between things. Simulation, SolidWorks simulation, takes no notice of SolidWorks mates, only whether surfaces are touching or not. Right, so going back here to SolidWorks, I mated these two twists together right here. If I delete this, right, and there are no connections here, these two are not connected. Right? They are not, because of the mates I define in the SolidWorks, the part modeling assembly side, it doesn't actually mean in the simulation side that they're connected. So make sure you're aware of that. You still have to connect. And that's why the global contacts is usually just the default. If things are globally bonded to each other, you don't have to worry about declaring it because it's the global declaration takes care of all things touching. Next one, use interference detection with treat coincident as interference to find touching surfaces. So if you want to find things that are touching, to make sure you declare the right component contact declaration or contact set, you can use that. So let's look at what that is. So you can either go here under Evaluate or under Tools, the Tools menu here. But what you're looking for is interference detection. So we're going to click on that. And so it's got the whole assembly here. And what we want to do is we want to treat coincidence as interference. All right, so if these two are coincident with each other, we want to treat that as interference so we can see where they're at. So go ahead and calculate. And let's see the other things down here too. The other one is make interfering parts transparent so we can see what's going on. So we'll click calculate. Makes a little noise there. And you see really bright red, right, where this interference is happening. It's not actually interference because we said treat coincidence as interference. Let's actually take that off and we'll see that there's nothing. Right. So there's no interferences. But then if we just say, hey, we want to treat where they're coincident, there is interference right there. All right, so that would tell us where we want to make sure we have some contact sets applied. We can also use automatic generation of contact sets to speed up contact definition. So this piece is when we're defining specifically contact sets of the two options here. So let me go in here. So we specifically defining contact sets. We can go in here and automatically find contact sets. And we'll say touching faces, and it just has to, you need to tell which components you want to look at. So we'll look at this one and this one, and we'll say, hey, find contact sets. And it finds it. Right? So it can be contacts between those two, and we can say, hey, what kind do we want? Bonded, no penetration, allow penetration. All right, and some other things we could define here. So I'm going to leave that, close that, and leave that as it is. All right, so that was it on the contact piece.